What's going on, guys? This is Mr. DeLorean here. Welcome back to a brand new video. Today what I want to do is go over some spoilers for episode 5 of season 10 The Walking Dead, What It Always Is. So before we do get deeper into this video and everything, I did want to warn you guys that there will be some massive spoilers for this episode. So you guys do not want the episode spoiler for you, or at least massive points of the episode spoiler for you, then make sure to click off the video right now. Also, I did want to give a shout out to The Walking Dead Facts Unlimited for giving us these spoilers for this episode and everything. So make sure to leave a link down below and everything to the post. You guys can go check it out and then, read the full spoilers, because I will be paraphrasing like a lot of these spoilers. So without further ado, let's hop right into them and spoil the episode. So the first part of the spoilers that we will be covering is Brandon and Negan, or their kind of plot throughout the episode. So it turns out Brandon did not let Negan out of his cell, and whoever did is still a mystery. I kind of already assumed at first that Lydia didn't let Negan out and everything, and it would make more sense for Brandon to, but I guess he didn't. It turns out Brandon is absolutely insane though, and he is obsessed over Negan and the Saviors, and takes Negan to a place where he believes where they can create a new sanctuary. That's definitely interesting right there, because I didn't take Brandon at first when I saw him to be, obsessed with Negan, because I always saw him as kind of just, Negan's kind of, I guess you'd say, watchman, like he always had a watch over Negan. I didn't take him for being obsessed, but I guess it kind of makes sense though for him to, take up the job to watch Negan in the first place. Brandon also wraps a new baseball bat in barbed wire and gives it to Negan along with a leather jacket as a gift. So I'm assuming Brandon's trying to suck up to Negan or anything and get on his good side, kind of be the new Simon or Dwight. At one point, Negan saves a mom and her son from walkers. They end up making a camp, and Negan tells Brandon that he can go wherever he wants as long as he doesn't have to see his creepy face anymore. That one's gonna be kind of funny and everything, because I guess it kind of goes back to everything. Remember when Gabriel first met Negan, and Negan basically said to Gabriel saying you're creepy as shit or whatever. I'm pretty sure you'll remember it. But that'll be interesting though to see Negan interact with some new people besides people from Alexandria, just some new people, just other survivors. And it's kind of cool how he does save them though, considering that I guess it is part of his redemption arc. Negan then has a chat with the little boy and then heads off to go get firewood. So I'm kind of wondering what their chat's gonna be about. I'm not sure if it's gonna be serious, Negan's gonna break down for him oh, these are the rules of survival in the world to protect your mother, or if it's just gonna be a little funny chat where Negan's gonna kind of just be Negan in front of the kid but try to be discreet. I'm not sure. I hope it's funny. Upon Negan's return to the camp, he discovers that Brandon has returned and has killed the mother and son. Thinking that Negan telling him to go away was a test to see if Brandon had the guts to kill, the mother and the son. So yeah, Brandon is a fucking psychopath. He seems like a very, confused person on, just life in general and the rules of survival and kind of how, what Negan wants him to do. Because the fact that he killed a mother and a child, to prove to Negan that, he was on board with their way of life is just crazy, and proves that he is just a psycho. Negan does kill Brandon just as Brandon starts to say, "I am Negan," and then he heads to the Whisperer border. So Negan will kill Brandon, which is good. I'm not sure if he will get his comic death though, where it's at the border with getting stabbed with a knife and everything. That would be cool, but I'm not sure if they'll follow by the comics, since they're already falling off a little bit by Brandon being someone who idolizes Negan and is obsessed with him. Since obviously in the comics, Brandon is just someone who wants revenge on Rick, and the communities and all of them to fight each other. Brandon just wants, to be with Negan and create a new sanctuary. The episode ends with Negan telling Beta, "Alright, you big ass freak, let's do this." So that's definitely the fucking crazy. Besides Negan killing, Brandon and, Brandon giving Negan, a barbed wire bat and leather jacket, that's probably the biggest spoiler of them all and everything, since obviously, Negan meeting Beta is gonna be a fucking huge moment. I do wonder though if it will go how it did in the comics, how Negan's just walking along, he senses people are watching him, so he tells everyone to come out, and Beta, some whispers come out, they have a funny meeting. Obviously Negan's saying, "Alright, you big ass freak, let's do this." Is gonna be a funny ass moment or anything, or funny or intense, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be funny and anything. Definitely them meeting each other is gonna be super cool, because it's gonna lead into obviously episode 6 where they're gonna have more of an interaction, at least I hope. But moving on to more of stuff that happens at the hilltop, or kind of spoilers of everything that happens at the hilltop in this episode. We learn in this episode that Ezekiel has thyroid cancer and that it runs in his family before the apocalypse. So Jesus Christ, that's definitely a huge bombshell dropped on everyone, mainly because there was a sneak peek released, obviously I think last week when episode 4 aired, and everyone was like, why did Ezekiel just randomly cough during the sneak peek while talking to Daryl? And this is that reason that he coughed, which is super crazy that he has cancer in the first place. So do I think he'll die this season? maybe. Yeah, probably. Because he's already outlived his, like, you know, border pike death, so I do feel like he will die this season. We also find out that the Whisperers were actually the ones setting up the walker attacks on, you know, Hilltop and chopping down the trees, you know, the ones that landed on the walls and crushed them and, you know, knocked them down. That I feel like I already kind of knew and everything, considering that, you know, it was just kind of weird in general how, you know, trees fell on Hilltop and, you know, how the walkers got there in general. But also in this episode synopsis, it does say that stashes or, you know, like supplies go missing from Hilltop. And it turns out that Kelly and Magma have a stash of supplies that they've been stealing from Hilltop. Magma and Yumiko are back to, you know, like fighting again in this episode, because I think they did an episode either 3 or 4. And we learned that Magma went to prison for going, you know, and like kicking some guy's ass or whatever that hurt her little cousin, you know, before the apocalypse. But moving on to Aaron and the Whisperers, because like I did say in my, you know, episode 5 trailer breakdown, is that there was this weird scene where Aaron was seen, you know, close to Gamma. So it turns out that Aaron finds Gamma by a river, slicing open a walker and contaminating the water, or trying to contaminate the water with the walker guts. She ends up cutting her hand, and Aaron throws her some bandages and asks her what her name is. He also asks her where she's from, and he mentions that he is from Vermont. So that's definitely gonna be interesting and everything to see, you know, like Aaron interact with a Whisperer, since obviously he doesn't really like the Whisperers, since obviously the Whisperers killed, you know, his lover, aka Jesus. So it's definitely gonna be interesting to see, you know, him interact with a Whisperer, especially Gamma out of all of them. It is also gonna be interesting to see the fact that, you know, he actually tries to interact and actually talk, you know, about like, you know, just normal human things. I don't think their conversation is gonna last too long though, since obviously they're not supposed to be talking and Aaron isn't even supposed to be near Gamma. So I feel like she'll either A, run away, or, you know, the conversation will, like, she'll just break up the conversation. But moving on to Daryl and Connie, and, you know, their spoilers. There are some nice Daryl and Connie moments in this episode where Daryl talks about Merle, and there are some hand-holding scenes between Daryl and Connie. So Daryl mentioning Merle will definitely be a really, you know, could be a comedic one. I'm assuming it really will be, judging by, I think, a sneak peek that we got of, you know, like Daryl and Connie and everything. It is a very funny scene. I do suggest go watching it. If I can find, I will like link it down below in the description. But it's definitely gonna be interesting and everything to see, you know, Daryl talking about Merle to Connie, just like, you know, some funny moments. And also kind of in the end of that spoiler, it does mention that there are some hand-holding action that, like to be had, which is definitely going to be an eye-opening moment for everyone who does want to ship them. I think it's going to be a very cute moment in general, because this pretty much confirms that they are going to be together, or at least have some form of moments, which I'm definitely very excited for. So those are pretty much all the spoilers for episode 5 of season 10 of The Walking Dead. So probably my favorite spoilers or moments from, like, you know, that we got from these spoilers that are going to be in the episode are probably Brandon and Negan, like, the, you know, that plot line, or the Daryl and Connie, you know, like, plot line. I don't really find interest though in the Magma and Yumiko one, mainly because I don't really find Magma and Yumiko, like, at the moment, I don't really find them personally for me to be interesting characters. I guess it is gonna be interesting though to see that they're, like, the fact that they are stealing supplies from Hilltop, which I'm not sure why they would be, but it would be interesting to hear what your favorite, you know, spoiler is, and I think which, like, you know, moment are you most excited for. Make sure to comment down below, because I'm gonna make sure to go through every single comment, anything, make sure to reply and read them all. So if you guys did enjoy this video or anything, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, or leave a review if you guys are listening on iTunes or on the podcast. And yep, I see you guys later. Peace, my amigos, and peace out.